So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. They headed off with Kyoko in the lead. Where she took us was... Okay.
The girls' locker room?
Alright.
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
Indeed.
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
Uh-huh. You want to check it again. You did say thoroughly.
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully.
The entire body, yep. Yeah, I was half joking when I said we should do a genital exam, but I guess that's what we're doing.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands?
Hifumi, you're gonna be disappointed. I'm sorry, buddy.
No way, no way, no way, no way, no way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
Thank you, Sakura. Thank you.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
Hi, Jill. Are you ever going to be normal again, or is this how you are from now on?
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine the body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Oh my goodness, it's so shocking. She's going Super Saiyan. Sakura's eyes are staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
Is what?
a boy. Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
Okay.
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
Apparently.
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat.
Well, thanks for telling us, Monokuma.
Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, we're really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting.
Kyoko could have just told everyone, I guess, but, you know, having, like, the evidence before us, having other people confirm it, yeah, it's good policy, I suppose.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
Oh, theory confirmed.
I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy. The thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was
Well,
male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Indeed.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
Okay, fair enough.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
Mm-hmm.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, to make it... In theory, if it's the killer's a guy, it would make it so that it'd be... You know, less likely that they'd be the killer.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
Thanks, Jill.
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
I guess the question is, would anyone else have known about the Genocide Jack stuff? And known enough that we could have framed someone? And who else would have figured that out?
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
I don't know! Like, it makes sense, it all lines up. The only thing that doesn't line up is his reaction to the trial, but that could just be acting. Like, who else could it have been? Mondo? Taka? The creepy fat guy? I don't know.
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But
Well, there's no reason for him to do that if he's not the killer, though. And no one else is confirmed to know about the Genocide Jack killings.
I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
Byakuya's just always suspicious? Yeah.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
Yes, but...
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery.
He's insane for real, indeed.
The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
He could just be a good actor, though. That's the thing. I wouldn't put it past him to just be a really good actor.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Celeste has a clue only you and she knows? Yeah, I'm just not sure how that's relevant right now. I mean, if we can find that bag, that could tell us something, but we don't have it right now. Everyone here is insane? Yeah, kinda.
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it.
Wait, is the going theory here... Wait, let's get this straight. Is the going theory here that Byakuya stumbled upon the body, the site of the scene of the crime, and instead of going and telling people about it, he decided, you know what, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna screw with everyone and alter the scene of the crime, move it into an entirely different room, make it look like the work of some serial killer. For what? Just to, like, have a laugh? Like, that seems to be what's being pushed here, that someone killed... What? That someone killed Chihiro, and then later, Byakuya found it and tampered with the crime scene. Is that the theory we're pushing here? Huh. Just have... Oh my goodness. To bring Jill to light? I guess maybe.
And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again when he found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on me.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Okay.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Oh. He didn't move the rooms. He just... Byakuya, you are... mad.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
You are looking very emotional, Taka. Uncharacteristically so.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
You're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
Is it too obvious if Byakuya was the killer since he knows way too much about this case? Kinda. And the reason it seemed plausible was because we had an even more obvious thing of like, oh, it was a Toko. So like we're like 3 levels deep on the red herrings at this point.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
Okay, so now though, now that Byakuya has admitted to tampering with the crime scene, we no longer have to worry about the killer had to have known about the Genocide Jack cases. Which basically means any male is a valid suspect at this point. Is where we're at.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
It could be Taka. I don't know.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Taka is really pushing this Byakuya theory.
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make
It was
our
Leon,
decision.
obviously. Of course, yeah.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer is genocide. No, the killer is a guy. That much is certain. Why does it have to be men? Because the murder took place in a space that only men have access to. Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. That's still not enough. I need to find more clues. Okay, the stain. I mean, Celeste's account is probably what's going to be relevant here, if anything.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Fair enough.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over.
Oh, whoops, wrong button.
It's all over.
Celeste's account, I think, is what we got to bring up.
The killer, and only the killer. And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in. Game over, man. Game over.
Consider putting out any other games in the series? Yeah, probably at some point. I've been having fun with this so far, so don't see why not. Not only do we have no info on the killer, but nobody even saw the victim before he died. But is that actually true?
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point.
No
Even
question.
that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of...
I think this works for this. Never mind. Okay. Come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that. It makes me think something weird is going on.
Shoot!
Okay, I guess it's a different thing.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
And it could be a single clue.
Clues are one thing, but
And I think it's
nobody get a look at the killer?
it's gotta be Celeste's account that we're
Someone
bringing
saw
up,
the
right?
killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer.
Alright, I guess this is the only direct contradiction we have.
No, it's wrong. I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes. I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag.
Okay.
And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag. But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
How though?
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
True.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Yes.
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much.
Mm-hmm.
Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
I'm thinking Sakura Mondo probably. Because yeah, Byakuya definitely does not fit that bill. That's for certain.
Oh, what a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
I do?
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
I do?
Seriously? Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of.
Okay.
Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that?
The tracksuit and duffel bag. How does that help us?
You really think we can figure out who did it based on two pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Okay.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket? The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse.
The code of access to the disintegrator since it rotates who's on cleanup. Maybe. I think that's too obvious of a play though for someone to do. The suit was blue.
All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from.
Oh, wait a minute. What if the tracksuit was for... She was getting the tracksuit for whoever she was working out with, therefore whoever the tracksuit fits is the killer.
Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow it's really hard to believe. I don't think any of these are going to be relevant.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed.
Yes.
He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
No.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Okay.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
Oh, wait a minute. No one knows what the color is aside from Celeste right now, right? Ah,
We know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, it's wrong.
Celeste never mentioned the color yet. We know because of the thing, but yes.
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuffing a jacket into a duffel bag. And then I assumed he was headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact...
Yeah, it does make sense it was Mondo. Chihiro and Mondo were getting pretty close, I think, leading up to this.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just... I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No one did.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility! Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night.
How? When? Why?
He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No.
It was in the bag.
Can't be it either.
She stuffed the tracksuit into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. if you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it?
Okay, so I feel less bad at being confused because the evidence that was required to figure out who specifically did it didn't come out until trial. Okay. I felt really bad that I didn't know going into this who it was, but you know, whatever.
That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
Because I hate him. Or the way he was acting? No?
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently.
Oh.
You only call guys dudes. For girls, it's chick.
You know what? I did actually kind of find that weird when he was talking about the dude was talking about wanting to get strong.
And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you?
Yeah, I'm getting concerned about Kyoko's safety because it's becoming obviously like if you want to get away with murder, probably the smartest thing you can do is make sure Kyoko isn't alive to investigate it. I gotta love the writing in these games, certainly.
Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone!
Okay, he's maintaining his innocence.
You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
Look, just because you're like blood brothers from the sauna doesn't mean you have to defend him, Taka.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
Rhythm game time? Oh no.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come.
Oh, you said you had some evidence, didn't you?
That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
It might be relevant though.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
Okay. Found on the ground, right? It must belong to... I guess it must be Chihiro's? And she's the only one who's missing, right?
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
Huh.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
But how do they break?
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
Then what did break it?
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall.
And is it just that all male handbooks break when the owner dies?
For all your confidence, That is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbooks break? There's only one possible explanation. Hacking it, hitting its weak point, or exploiting a bug. And he did mention a weak point specifically. It wouldn't be hacking, because we're assuming probably Mondo did it in this case.
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession,
then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
Yeah, we're putting you on trial.
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook
It's gonna be something like super
is-
dumb, where it's like banging it with a hammer or something.
When it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
Oh, I mean, that wouldn't be hard to achieve at all.
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The sauna?
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200
That's how Mondo knew!
Strange how you don't get burnt, huh?
Probably.
It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Well, thanks for the PSA, Monokuma.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
Wait a minute, but if Monokuma found out, or not Monokuma, if Mondo found out that the handbooks break because its own broke when he went to the sauna, how would he have gotten into the gym in the first place? Unless maybe he took Leon's, used that to get into the gym, and then intentionally broke that one in the sauna too. And that's a possibility.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa, seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
But wasn't Leon's broken before used for this murder? I don't think we know that for certain. We just know it's broken now. I think it's because we didn't even know it existed before the murder happened, so we don't know if it was working before or not. Who might have brought their handbook into the sauna? It could have only been one person. Wait a minute! Hold on, what? Yeah, because Mondo is fully clothed in the sauna. Right? Yeah, that is like a whole deal.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on.
Man, this is actually relevant. What?
Little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. I did? What did I find? Oh my goodness.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Even I don't want to believe. Oh! The broken handbook isn't Leon's, it's Mondo's. He swapped it. That's what's going on here.
If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
That's what's going on.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what
Show us your handbook, Mondo. Show us it's yours and not Leon's, eh?
Goddamn handbook works just fine.
Does it?
No, that's wrong. Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's. Which would mean
Yes, it was
that
overheating.
the
Yes.
handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's. Yeah,
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook
Alright,
is
guys,
prohibited?
we have gone over this so many times. Loaning out the handbook is prohibited, but you can just straight up take the handbook of the deceased, and that's fine.
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch. What's wrong, bro? Come on, tell him he's wrong. You are wrong. You have to be wrong. Everything you just said is wrong. You made it all up.
Taka, my man.
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Alright, let's put the pieces together. Okay, so we start off. Chihiro is in the warehouse preparing the thing. Celeste sees Chihiro. Chihiro's surprised. Chihiro's like, oh, hi, whatever. Then she... Hold on. So, okay, right. Celeste sees the thing. Chihira's like, oh no, I better have that. Bye! Chihiro, we cut to the thing. Chihiro walks into the boys' locker room. At which point... opens the door? I don't know. Okay, so she's in there. Oh, hi, Mondo. What's going on? Puts thing in locker. Gets surprised by something. Killer lifts up dumbbell. Gets behind her, clobbers her with said dumbbell. Dumbbell is bloody. Oh, was it an accidental death? No. Okay. Then, so she's dead. Killer needs to clean up the scene of the crime. He rolls up the stuff. Brings it. He takes down the poster. Puts it up in the neighboring room. No, he doesn't put... Okay, I think this is him putting the poster up in the neighboring room. This is him taking the poster down. Then he goes to the girls' room. Okay, you come on in. You notice the body arc. Oh, this is really fun. Let's... bring in the cord. Bring her up. String her up. Write some messages. Act 5. Okay, is this the sauna? You head to the sauna? Throw it in there. I don't know. I feel really bad about this one. Can I, like, get any extra details on these? Okay, so this I'm pretty confident. Celeste sees that. Alright, Chihiro goes along. She goes here. She goes into... That's... What did she do? She... You can click the question marks for hints. What question marks? Oh. Which locker room? Oh! That's a thing? Oh. That's there. It's something everyone has that you need to get into the locker room. Okay, so Chihiro has a thing. Wow. She went into there. Then, in here... Weapon the killer used was the dumbbell. As the murder took place, some blood splattered onto something, didn't it? The something I think that's relevant here is actually going to be the poster. Poster, carpet, that sort of things. He goes, oh no, she's dead. He rolls up the thing, takes the poster down, goes to the girls' room, brings the body in, goes in, puts the poster up. There, it's all done. You come in here. What is it that Byakuya brought? It was obviously the electrical cord. Wrote the thing. You went to the sauna, right? You went to the sauna to roast the card. Okay, now the only thing is that I think is a repeated image from this, so it can't be this. Alright, repeat images don't happen. What else could it be, though? It's something everyone has that you need to get into the locker rooms. And it is the key card, isn't it? That doesn't mix. It's not. What is this? Okay. I don't see what else it would be, but I know you don't normally repeat rooms or repeat images. But maybe in this instance.
The killer is you! First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Okay, it's not that. Whoops. Okay, I knew it was not that. Well, is it maybe this one? Oh, let me look at this image. Oh yeah, these are slightly different images, of course. Jeez. Okay, there we go.
Here's exactly what happened. With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
There we go.
Simple, because she was really a he. Which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster. And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room.
Okay.
A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall.
Okay.
Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
Seems like a bit of a security flaw, but okay.
And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no.
Byakuya, darn Byakuya.
Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime.
And so the crime scene was tampered with twice.
He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget.
Okay.
Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Arata?
Hello, Shay. We're just working on convicting a killer. The usual.
Wait. No. This can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence? You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him.
Evidence that Mondo's the killer? That already revealed itself early in the trial. All I have to do is check that one item of his and everything will become clear. A new element has been added to the bullet time battles. Yeah, let's learn about this. Fever time and... Be careful when saying that. Nega time. Okay. During a bullet time battle, if you press the space key, Fever time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push right mouse button, left mouse button, right mouse button, left mouse button, however you want to destroy your opponent's verbal assault. But this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make sure to make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got to access special time, right? So we've also prepared something called Nega time that your opponent can use. If the opponent activates Nega time during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate the fever time at this point, no, never mind, I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Unsurprising, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent won't use Nega time. Well then, good luck and have fun. Why'd they call it that?
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show
Okay.
me some evidence.
I'm working on it, buddy.
I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence.
Oh, it's negative time. That makes sense.
I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence.
Wait, am I dead? What happened? What? How'd I fail? Nobody believes you. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say. No, we haven't come to the... What? No, what the heck? No, what? No, what? I don't even know how I failed that. What? No, man. How am I the one with the most votes? What the heck? I wasn't even a suspect.
Is this really the end for all of us?
I thought I was doing well at the rhythm game. Yes, I'm giving that another shot. What the heck?
I refuse to give up yet.
Okay, jeez. I thought I was nailing that. No. Okay, here we go again.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence.
Oh, do I need to do something with like the words?
False.
Okay, what? Okay, influence gauge during both time battle will take damage to your influence gauge whenever your opponent's statements explode. If this gauge reaches 0, it indicates the current tempo, and you have to press buttons in rhythm. Failing to hit a statement in time will count as a miss. Combos and tempo up. If you're able to keep up with the rhythm, you can eventually perform a combo. Get your combos past a certain level. Change tempo up. On the flip side, tempo down. Lock on. Right. Right mouse button. Gotcha. I need to lock on. That's my problem. I haven't been locking on. Forgot about that mechanic. Okay, there we go. Okay, we'll do this again, but actually, properly. I forgot about the lock-on mechanic. Whoops.
Is this... I refuse to give up yet.
Okay, here we go. Alright, lock on. Use the right mouse. I thought right mouse button left were the same for this.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False.
Final strike. There we go.
Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
Here's the proof.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's.
Exactly.
In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
I see. Got a C on the rhythm test. A overall, though. A overall.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with.
Down on his feet.
Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Taka, use your brain and not your emotions, alright?
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Okay.
What?
Uh-oh, this time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was... Mondo Iwata. In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. Taka. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence to allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward the text. No, we'll hear it. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weaknesses. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now nobody will be able to say anything about you, even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. Which of course include Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy. And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair.
What?
And yet...
I'm sorry.
Sorry. I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But
I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later? After I try us to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the thread of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
that's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so... that day he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it. When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me. Yep, it sure was. The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration. And he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then that must be why Mondo did what he did to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro. Oh. Huh? Did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room? Oh.
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro.
But
How does moving the body keep his secret?
Because
if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so... He tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook, see? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed. Why? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you? Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible! Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone?
You're wrong.
It's impossible!
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standards is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother! Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riff-raff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Awada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he intimidated him in everything imitated him rather, in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, #1 in the gang, and his #2 his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang. Which is why... I gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once. Just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes, I gotta come out on top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly... laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. Fucked up. Sorry. Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey, kid. That's up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. Because it's the team. You and me. Put it together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang, in order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother. Daya was gonna lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Strong. And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely, the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I'd been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why Mondo. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, I had filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling around. Never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Because, I mean, you kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would.
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I've wrapped myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my guts. Felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, it can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secrets.
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I've never had. So I was jealous of him. That jealousy broke me.
What?
You making fun of me? I'm strong. You fucking with me right now?
No.
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed, and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why'd you have to tell me that? You trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
No, I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right, I am strong. Strong, I'm strong. Strong. Stronger than you!
You son of a bitch!
And stronger than Daria! I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand and was just staring at him, down on the ground. Hey! I killed him.
I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in his heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it! Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't. You bastard! Just shut up, you son of a bitch! Go ahead and say that again, I dare you.
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want, is what I want to say, but unfortunately I can't do that right now because it's the time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing?
It can't be.
You mean execution?
Well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on. Now then.
Prepared
Oh,
a
sorry.
very special punishment.
For Armando Awada, the ultimate biker gang leader. No, wait!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
I said wait!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Oh no, what's this gonna be? Game over. Armando has been found guilty. Armando, time for the punishment. Okay. Oh my goodness, Monica, what the heck? The Cage of Death. That's not too bad. It's not great, but... What? Where'd he go? Oh. I'm trying not to butter my toast for the rest of my stay here. Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace. It can't be! My brother! Another murder, and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Taka's sad screams invade our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course, he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game. Byakuya?
What is this?
You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do, because this is a game of life or death.
Hey,
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that.
however,
I just don't understand why. Why'd you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm. Emotionless. Because it made things more interesting. Like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the nighttime rule too? That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be.
But I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. What? You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him. Wait, so you were a witness to the murderer? You didn't tell anyone this. Ugh. Byakuya? Why?
Well,
So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. If that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene. But damn, man, if we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Byakuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did, and I was able to perform an interesting experiment. Once I do decide to become blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for. Oh. Ah. You know, that does make a certain sick sort of sense. Huh?
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Okay, so I'm concerned now for my life and Kyoko's life. Because we've been so smart at figuring out these trials thus far. Like, the clear intellectual leaders of the group. Anyone who wants to get away with murder, probably at this point knows they should kill me or Kyoko. If they're, like, if it's not gonna be spur of the moment. If it's gonna be actually planned out. Moving on.
Hey,
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next.
you.
You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why? Don't Byakuya becomes imposter, you dead? Probably. Yeah. You like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I'm not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair. What do you mean? 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 Mean. Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me. Ah, the noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up, I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you. Understand?
In the name of my family.
In the name of the Tagami family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up.
Oh, so cool. It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Temper, temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom and the curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying...
What's this?
This is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring?
What's my reaction right now to this, like, plotting thing? With Monokuma, so this is clearly, I guess, happens, like, post-Sayaka, right? It's, interesting. Oh, dang it. I mean, the game's pretty good so far. Definitely liking it. Lots of twists and turns. And I'm wondering what's this? Is Monokuma actually working for someone else here? Huh.
Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part.
Wait a minute, part of the group?
You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right?
Wait, is it rigged?
Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay?
And he must be... It makes sense for him to be talking to Byakuya, but... I don't know. That seems too obvious to be right.
After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
Wait, is this actually in universe like a reality TV show or something? Wouldn't that be something? There's one more thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student I made? Wait, what? 16th?
My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but... super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
There's a 16th student. Huh. Capture a boy's life of despair. The end. 10 students survive. To be continued.